Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Agara and Ed Zane. Today's another reaction of a Wicked Binge video. This one has to do with DreamWorks, the bad guys. Since last time I did one about the things that they love and hate about the movie. Now this time has to do about a sequel for the bad guys. If there was a sequel, what would be the things that we would love and hate about it if it comes to a sequel? So this might be a very interesting video, so let's get started on it. Brain it.
Major spoilers ahead for the first movie and for some of the bad guys' graphic novels. The first sequel idea on our list is a fairly obvious one. The bad guys become heroes. This scenario comes from an article on CB.
More like anti-heroes.
The writer of the article points out how the ending of the first film heavily alludes to this being a possibility, with the bad guys being let out of jail for good
I can see that.
Getting picked up by Diane, who is essentially a secret vigilante along with being the governor.
Ready to get to work?
The writer also points out that, given the bad guys have a deep knowledge of how criminals think, they'd likely be the perfect squad to help solve what the cops can't.
Given exactly.
That two main heists were highlights of the first film, we would love to see these guys.
I can totally see that.
Good. After all, they have the skills, so why waste them?
They can use it.
Could make the heist even bigger in a sequel. The first film takes place in LA, but imagine the bad guys going to a place like New York, Las Vegas, or even somewhere in Europe. You could also involve
that
more
would be
characters,
cool, actually.
whether they be allies or enemies. And speaking of which, seeing the bad guys face off against badder bad guys could be just as exciting to see. With a more dangerous gang could certainly raise the stakes and make for some interesting parallels. Just imagine Wolf going head-to-head with another leader who's just as clever, or Snake dealing with someone just as sneaky. There's also the
that would be cool.
Of this badder gang having history with the bad guys and thus seeing the now good guys as sellouts, making the conflict all the more personal. Overall, we have to say that we absolutely love this idea, as it not only has plenty of
That's probably the main thing about the sequel.
Like a lot of fun. For a similar idea, we turn to the graphic novels to find this little plot. The bad guys join the International League of Heroes. Yes, you heard that right. In the
International League of Heroes.
Only become heroes, but
this probably is a spoiler for the books, but hey.
League of Heroes. Given how much the two genres overlap, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to see this heist genre spoof also become part spy movie spoof, even if the latter genre is a bit overdone. The great thing about this idea is that the filmmakers would have to add in new animal characters, making for a fun mix
I would
of
love that.
designs and personalities for the cast. If they were to include characters from the books, this potential sequel could include characters like Agent Kitty Cat, who is a martial artist that uses katanas, Agent Hogwild, who is a motorcyclist along with
oh my god, female characters, that would be amazing.
A hacker and biochemist with a bit of an emo attitude.
Is that supposed to be Diane?
My plot would be a bit cliche and perhaps a bit too much like Despicable Me 2 with its whole side plot. It would still probably make for a good time. So we have to like this idea.
Wait, now thinking about it, when they showed all the female criminals and they showed a little bit of Agent Doom, but it had the fox, considering that's Diane, that would be really cool if she had her own group of friends that are criminals as well. I don't know, I remember, just want to quickly with that, I remember in the scene from the movie that when Diane and Mr. Wolf are in the car, and Mr. Wolf is sad because he lost his friends, they felt betrayed by him, and saying, what am I doing wrong, and all that. And then she says, I know how it feels to lose everything. You know, when she said that, I was thinking, was she in a group as well? Does she have a group of friends, and then all of a sudden that she lost them because she became good and became the governor? So I'm having a feeling, since they showed something in the book that had to mention, Diane, I'm thinking if she has her own group of criminals, not just any group of criminals, but female criminals, that would be amazing. I think that would just blow everyone away to see female characters and female criminals. This would be another Ocean's 8 kind of thing, which that would be a really cool. plot twist. So I think that's a really good idea. I hope that's the case, but I think that would be amazing to add that to the sequel.
Moving on to the opposite side of the spectrum, where the bad guys go bad again.
No, that wouldn't work. That would ruin the whole thing.
A couple of different ways this idea could go down. The first option is pretty straightforward. Being bad is more fun, and as Wolf says, going good won't guarantee acceptance, so they decide to go back to bad. As the article writer says, this could be a statement against their haters, while also giving the film a chance to introduce new cops and other hunters, both animal and human, to track and bring them down. While we're sure that this idea,
but it would ruin the whole, story, and with the first movie.
One of the first film's main messages. To do
Yeah.
not just because it's right or because you'll get rewarded, but because it just feels good to. We also can't imagine Wolf wanting to go bad again after making it clear that he was
I will say, I can't imagine Mr. Snake might go bad. I might see that maybe he's having a hard time going good, and maybe he's the one that struggles the most and decides to go back to being bad, and then it maybe causes a wedge between his friendship. So I actually can see that happening. Without all the other bad guys, I think that's not going to happen, but with Mr. Snake, I think that's a possibility.
Feared and hated.
I'm tired of being scary. I'm tired of being an outcast.
Really, the only way we could see a scenario like this working is if they did something similar to Shrek Forever After, where the gang may start to miss the fun parts of being evil, only to be reminded of all they have gained by doing good. The other way this
to go back in time or something,
according to the writer of the article, could be if the bad guys are blackmailed and forced into doing heists and other criminal activities. The writer compared it to the Night Fox plotline from Ocean's 12. This would make the most sense for Diane specifically, since she would want to protect her position as governor, which would then lead to the bad guys wanting to help her out of that risky situation when it is necessary. This alternate take on the idea certainly makes a lot more sense, and would be our preferred method if the writers of the film decided to briefly turn the bad guys back into criminals instead of focusing on their potential.
Yeah, but I think it would just completely ruin the message.
If DreamWorks went with the latter, we would still have mixed feelings on this sort of plot.
I agree with that.
To what would most likely be a side plot, a potential bad guy sequel could have a large section of the story focus on shark, piranha, or tarantula.
Yeah!
Viewers have pointed out,
I want to focus more of those three.
The film is on Wolf, Snake, and to a lesser extent Diane and Marmalade, leading the other three members of the gang with not
those three were so good. They need more screen time.
5 that aren't tigers from Kung Fu Panda, having moments to shine but not much actual character development. While it's pretty likely that any sequel would still focus heavily on Wolf and Snake, a side plot that allows one of the other bad guys to get some spotlight could be cool to see. Now, to be
it would either be Shark or Tarantula. I would choose one of them to have the bigger side plot.
One look at films like Shrek the Third or the Ice Age series to see what happens when a subplot is written badly. Still, with how endearing Shark, Piranha, and Tarantula all are, getting some extra time with any of them would still be pretty enjoyable. As such, we really like this idea. Looking at what could be another small subplot, we have the establishing of Wolf and Diane's romance.
Yes! 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 Absolutely!
Agent Fox weren't really reciprocated. Mr.
Agent
Wolf and
Fox.
Governor Diane Washington definitely
Yes! We need this! We need this in the sequel!
The relationship between the two of them seems like the logical next step with how well they work as a team. But for as much as we love these two, we still have mixed...
No! I totally agree! Absolutely! There has to be more development, because I have to say those two... Jeez, these two are just like, oh my god, they kind of drive me nuts. Like, there's so much tension between them. And not just any tension, but kind of like a little inappropriate tension, if you know what I mean. But just like, come on. There were so many things going on with these two, and they have to add this to the sequel. And plus, like, you know what? I'm gonna save that for another video, because I have kind of a story time to tell you guys that I saw the bad guys again with some friends, and it's it's funny. It just have a lot of things to say, but you know what? I'll save that for next video. I'll probably make another video about that. But anyway, yeah, I just love these two so much. Like, honestly, this as a couple, if they were a couple, that would be really good. But obviously they are. Even though there wasn't any romantic, like, stuff, we still could tell that there was something romantic going on. And there's going to be more in the future if they have a sequel. So I don't care if there's mixed feelings. I absolutely love it. End of story. Like, come on!
And a couple other minor instances, DreamWorks isn't known for its romance stories like Disney is. We'd also see an awesome character like Diane being reduced to just being Wolf's girlfriend. We also wouldn't really be a fan of seeing Snake being all jealous of their relationship like he was in the books. We're here for laughs and high shenanigans after all, not love triangle drama.
What? Wait. I'm sorry with all the pausing, but you're okay. But when they said that DreamWorks is not known for their romance stuff, but Disney is, I felt that's a very odd thing to say because, I mean, Disney does a lot of romance, but DreamWorks does a lot of romantic stuff, and I think DreamWorks, mostly every single DreamWorks movie has a kiss scene, but except for this one. And well, as far as the past few DreamWorks movies, there hasn't been any romantic stuff. But I noticed, like, back in 2000s or maybe early 2010, there was a lot of romantic things going on. Like, even Megamind had a romance going on. There was even a kiss scene with Megamind and that girl Roxanne Ritchie. And even, like, all the 3 How to Train Your Dragon movies, all the 4 Shrek movies, like, I think Shrek had, like, the most kiss scenes out of all other animation movies. But all 4 of them have kiss scenes. You know, what else? Even, I just remember, even Penguins of Madagascar had a kiss scene, even though it was, like, covered, we didn't really see it, but it happened. Like, that even had a kiss scene. So there's even some DreamWorks movies that had kiss scenes that we never even expect. And even, like, one, but it's a Disney movie, is Wreck-It Ralph. I never expected that to happen, and I'm like, what? But that is crazy that they said that. Like, I would assume that DreamWorks has the most romantic development in their movies than Disney does, but I don't know. But that's a very interesting fact that they said, but okay.
Side plot possibility, this next
that has to be, come on, that has to be a big side plot.
Specifically going bad.
Yep.
Not the rest of the bad guys.
That's exactly what I was saying. I think he's going to be the one that struggles the most, and then accidentally goes bad again.
Snake took a lot longer to start going good, frequently relapsing into bad.
I can totally see that.
And not believing that he could be good. We even see in book number 11, Dawn of the Underlord, that Snake ends up getting temporarily corrupted by supernatural means, leading to him wanting to corrupt the other members of the gang. Yeah,
what?
The books are much more wild than the movie was. Still, putting the corruption arc
These were the books?
You could potentially still see this plotline happening.
That's
After all,
weird.
Snake was the one who had the hardest time believing that the bad guys could go good. And if the sequel film's big bad had the ability to get under Snake's skin and pick at his insecurities, or if they could drive a wedge between him and Wolf, it's likely that Snake would struggle a lot and probably fall back into his old habits, leading to his friends to try and bring him back to the good side.
We were more than just scary villains. They loved us.
The downside of this idea is that it could not only undercut Snake's arc from the first film, but it could also feel repetitive. In other words, this is one of those plots that sounds like it could be dramatic and potentially enjoyable on paper, but would be totally dependent on the execution. All in all, we have to say that we dislike this idea. Not having much faith that it could be pulled off without feeling at least a little contrived or frustrating. For our final sequel idea, we're ending things off with a bang. The return of a transformed Marmalade. Now, villains
transformed Marmalade? What does that mean?
But this return comes with a huge twist, which is Marmalade being revealed to be an alien with a goal of invading Earth in order to prove himself to his species.
What?
Yet another element from the books that contrasts from its somewhat more
Wait a minute.
counterpart. Funnily enough, according to the storyboarder Adam Rosette, the film's crew nearly included this reveal, but ended up cutting it because they felt it would be too weird and out of nowhere. This is true, but if they had an entire film to develop an alien invasion plotline, instead of having it be a surprise twist, it could work. On the other hand, as fun as seeing the bad guys battling aliens up in space could be, we'd hate for a dense plotline.
Hold on, let me get this straight. Are they saying that in the books that Marmalade was actually an alien? Like he transforms into an alien? And then the gang fights an alien? Really? That was really in the books? You know what, I hope to God that does not happen. I'm pretty sure that will never happen in the sequel, but like thank God they didn't do it in this movie. Like that is probably one of the most bizarre like side plots, but that is so cheesy. Like really? He's an alien? Oh my God, that was really in the books? Wow. Now I really want to know what are in the books comparing to the movie. But that's just a very weird side twist.
The first film so
really?
That being the characters and their development. This is
it would be so phony. No. Don't do it. Please don't do it to the sequel.
A whole ton of aliens and the next bad guys.
It's so. Oh my God, no. Yuck.
Professor Marmalade. But let us know in the comments and what ideas you would want to see in a Bad Guys sequel. And hey, tell us
that's it? Okay then. Okay, so that was the Bad Guys sequel ideas we love and hate. Some of them were really accurate, you know, that I completely agree with and that I actually had a feeling might happen in the sequel. And there's a couple that, well, like the particular one, which is the last one, that I would never think ever. And I think hopefully it will never be in the sequel, but Marmalade is actually an alien. Like he transforms into an alien. That's just, no, that's so cheesy and so phony and to do it. And you know, like saying that the bad guys turn to heroes, which I totally agree. And like they mention like they use their criminal skills to defeat other bad guys or to, you know, get something done that the police can't, get done or something like that. And they also mention about the International League of Heroes, which, well, I think that's a very interesting idea. But when they were also mentioning about other characters that were in the book, they were all female characters. And they kind of were mentioning a little bit about Diane. So I'm actually hoping that Diane has her own group of friends, and her own group of like female criminals. Like if they do something like that, I think that would be amazing. They made it like an Ocean's 8 movie, the one with Sandra Bullock. That would be amazing. And like I would love to see more Diane, being more Crimson Paw or being kind of the criminal gal that she used to be, but maybe she's back to doing it. I think that would be amazing. I would love to see more of that. I thought it was interesting that the idea was disliked, but saying how Snake might go back to being bad. And I thought that was accurate because I can totally see that, he's the one that struggles the most because he was, like they said, that he was the one that had no hope, no faith that the bad guys would be good or that there's no good in them. So he didn't really have any faith in that. So I would assume he would struggle the most to turn to be good, but unfortunately he missed being bad, so then he slowly reverts back to being bad. So I can possibly see that happening. But I wouldn't see like when they said that the bad guys go bad again, that would completely mess up the whole message for the movie, and it completely kind of ruins everything that just happened in the first movie. So I think that won't work. More focus on Mr. Shark, Piranha, and Miss Tarantula, absolutely, because those three were so good. And mostly with Tarantula, I love her so much, so I wish there was a little bit more focus on each of them, kind of more of what's going on with them as a criminal, or, their history as a criminal, the things that they have to deal with. And absolutely, 100% agree. There has to be a side plot with Mr. Wolf and Diane. There has to be. Like, their chemistry in the first movie was just, like, amazing. It was just, like, crazy. Like, you could totally tell that there was something gonna happen with these two. But But you know, I really hope they do. I mean, I'm praying that they do because they have to. And also, like, this is DreamWorks. DreamWorks does a lot of romantic stuff like this, even though it said that they don't, which I find that very odd, but still, I would think they would do it. Absolutely, I would think they would do it, but I don't know, just crossing my fingers for the sequel. But yeah, that's all I have to say for the Bad Guys sequel ideas that we love and hate. Might do another Bad Guys compilation, I don't know. And if some of you don't know, I will also maybe do a video about a little story time that I took my friends to see the Bad Guys for the first time, and you know, some of the things they said and the things that happened throughout the movie would be so funny for you guys to listen. But anyway, that's all I have to say. So like my video, subscribe my channel, leave comments below what you thought about the video, and catch on to the next reaction video. See you later, guys.